Hi guys, welcome back. Well, I say welcome back. We haven't been here for a week, but this is 1v1Me. I'm Cakes. This is D. And tonight we're going to be talking about stuff, things,
topics.
everything, many of them, lots of different ones. So we found the past few weeks. So this all started with me and D sitting on our Xbox, chatting for hours and hours and hours and having really deep conversations. And we were like, do you know what? People need to listen to what we have to say. Now, I understand how egotistical that sounds, but, well, deal with it.
Fuck you, we've got egos.
And we were like, fuck it. Let's make a podcast. Let's make YouTube. Let's talk about stuff with the folks, not our parents, you folks. And yeah, so we have Jed's there. Where did you go? Pause for a second. Pause this for a second, because that's more important. Where did you go last night? Me and Dee stayed up until like 4 o'clock in the morning. We had a constant 25 views. Just, we were so worried about you. We were, have you watched it back? Have you watched it back? He's not replying.
I should have said Cakes as well. Yeah, it was no great massive emergency. His daughter woke up, wouldn't go back to bed, and he ended up falling asleep on the couch with her.
And you did not tell me.
I forgot.
Shit,
oh no, I'm terrible.
You are shit. I've been worried all day.
To be fair, I only found out a little while ago on Jamie's stream. So yeah, yes.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so we were all, people need to listen to the stuff. And Jed had pointed out something that I had kind of been feeling anyway. Like, me and Dee talk about these topics, but we go off on tangents, and then we're not actually talking about the topic that we had planned to talk about anyway, because we both get distracted and we are terrible human beings. So we're just going to talk about what we want to talk about, and then later we'll change the title of what we've talked about. That will make it easier for you guys to be like, fuck yeah, I could get down with that, or fuck yeah, blah blah blah, let me join, let me share my many cents of information. So yeah, before I ramble on about what I want to talk about, what do you want to talk about, D?
No, well, again, not too much. I thought we'd do a bit of a free flow this time, and yeah, see how it goes. So like a bit going grey area style, like coming in without a script.
Why not? Fuck it. Well, I do. I have a piece of paper here with 2 things that I want to talk about, because you know how my mind is. I remembered to write them down, because if I didn't write them down, I'd have been like, I wanted to talk about something, but I can't remember what it was. So, umbilical cords. The viewers go, what do you mean umbilical cords? Okay, right. So I was on Facebook a few days ago, right. And my one of my best friend's sister's pregnant, which means she's having a baby, for those of you who don't know what that means. And she posted a picture of 2 umbilical cords and was talking about like umbilical cord draining, and that most doctors will cut the cord prematurely and then sell the cord for £45,000 to stem cell research, or to things that for things that can help people. Whether they help people, I'm not too sure, because obviously all the blood that's inside the umbilical cord is designed to help that baby. And I was a little bit torn, because I quite like having research where it doesn't affect anyone, or where it doesn't have a negative impact on people. And I had, so when my son, the cord was cut straight away and he seems to be fine. So I don't know, well, if it's a big deal having to drain the umbilical cord and waiting and leaving it for half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, but having not really looked massively into this, but again, it is something I've glanced at least in the past. But yeah, it does seem that there are certain benefits for waiting and giving the baby chance to at least acclimatize to the outside environment before you go cutting that cord and stuff. Yeah. Again, the whole I mean, anything to do with unfortunately the birthing process, including like abortion and stuff, does seem to, the byproducts of that do seem to be used for nefarious, or the ends justifies the means kind of thinking in when it comes to research and study and stuff. So yeah, no, I'm
what I found bizarre was that the doctors can go and the hospitals and the system can go and sell these umbilical cords, but you as a person, you can't be like, well, do you know what? Actually, no, I'm going to make a buck or two out of this. You can't go and sell your umbilical cord and placenta, because I never thought about the placenta either. But the placenta, but the placenta gets sold as well.
Well, I don't always. I mean, I got to say, when my two kids were born, I thought they were just like weighing all the placenta and afterbirth and all this kind of stuff, just to make sure it was all there and there wasn't anything being left inside that could cause problems and stuff. That was the way I thought about it. Obviously now it's a lot more nefarious, and you're thinking like that, because literally they weigh everything, that they're checking it, making sure it's all fine. Yeah, and well, yeah. To be fair, they do offer you in this country as well if you want to take the placenta home and cook it up. So yeah, it is something that is done and has been done for at least 20 years. Because my eldest, that was offered to my ex.
Yeah, it was offered to me as well. So I the reason I'm in two minds is because Freddie was fine. Could the umbilical cord that was connected to Fred, could some good have come out of that? You know, is it wrong? If it's going to help medical science, I don't think it is wrong. But if some elitist is going to drink it, that's obviously wrong. Like, I don't know where that's going to end up.
Exactly, and this is the trouble. There's no accountability. I mean, it's faceless companies that buy this, and they can say whatever they're doing with it. I mean, they could well do what they say they're going to do with it, but again, we don't know. There are no real regulatory like things around this, as far as I know. It's and like you say, this is not really common knowledge for a lot of people. I mean,
no, it's going on Facebook at the moment.
I'd not heard about the umbilical cords and placentas being sold. I'd obviously heard about abortion fetuses and stuff being sold, but so that is quite a new thing of even me. And obviously, I've been quite down the rabbit holes a few times and stuff. So
have you? Oh, sounds like this should have been on last night's stream.
Yeah.
Where's Jay? Where's BB's shiny head? That's what we need.
Oh my god.
I was mortified. I did not know how to respond. I was like, what do I do here?
I just didn't know what was happening. But don't get wrong, like, it was just shit. I couldn't process it. It was even now.
I got offered Jamie's placenta. I was so nutrition starved. I should have used it, as took 2 months to rebuild full energy levels up again after giving birth to a big baby at 8 pounds 13 ounces.
Well, see, this is the thing as well. I mean, I'm not sure where I heard this. This is way before I got into conspiracy life, but I heard it takes like 5 to 7 years for the female body to like fully heal from giving birth.
Crusade's yum placenta. I don't know. Obviously there's going to be varying factors to that. I honestly couldn't tell you, because there's a big difference between being 20 and being almost 27. So I you know, obviously like a 20-year-old's going to have much more energy than a 27-year-old. So how can we know?
Yeah.
Better than spam. I thought you liked spam. Don't be confusing me, Chris Hayes. Yeah, so do any of you guys have any thoughts or feelings about the selling of, well, it's more that I feel like it's more the selling of the stem cells than it is the selling of the cord itself, because
Well,
they clamp both ends.
yeah, this is the thing. I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know what the breakdown of a umbilical cord is. Like, what is in the makeup of it? I imagine, yeah, it would be the stem cells they're after, or that would be the most valuable thing. But I don't know. I mean, I imagine there'd be all sorts of things in there that could be used. I imagine. So
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like I say, I if good's gonna come out of it, I'll be happy. You know, like I don't see much of an issue of it as long as there's the choice there. But there's that whole hospitals are so rushed and so understaffed. Thank you, government, that like they want to get you in and out as quickly as possible, because the more births they can have at our hospital, the more money they're going to get. You know, so do the midwives really want to be waiting around for exactly? That's the other thing, Jed. Waste not, want not. If the mom doesn't want to wait there with the umbilical cord connected to the baby, or if there are other complications, does it matter? You know?
again, spiritually, maybe going into the spiritual side of things. If
Yeah.
you've like, I mean. Yeah, one could argue that any kind of trauma in life is going to reoccur at some later stage in life. So, and that I imagine is a pretty big trauma. Like just being born, literally that's trauma enough. You've just been forced out of an extremely tight space. Like you're coming into all these new senses and all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden there's. I mean, I don't know. Does the baby feel better? I don't. Well, neither of mine seemed to cry particularly when it was cut. It didn't see because I cut the. I wasn't allowed to cut on my eldest, but on my youngest I was allowed to cut.
Yeah.
And yeah, it didn't seem like when I was cutting it there was any wah, wah, wah. So I'm not sure there's really any kind of nerve endings.
I don't think there is.
But
No.
at the same time, it's being cut off very abruptly from something that it's been attached to for 9 months, something that's fed it, supplied it with everything it's needed. And I'm not so sure that, because like I say, I mean, again, all right, we may not be animal. Well, maybe animals may not be animals, but when you see in the animal world, there's a lot of animals will let their offspring carry on just with the umbilical cord hanging. Some will sit there and chew it off. So yeah, again, personal choice and responsibility and all this kind of thing. So yeah, it is a conundrum. And again, yeah, any of you guys got anything to say on this subject in particular? Because again, unfortunately, this has caught me on a bit of a hook. I didn't really expect that one, so it's not something I've really looked into a lot. So all this from me at the moment is literally just an off the top of my head response. So.
Yeah, so sorry about that.
Yeah, so I'm just checking chat to see if any questions are coming through, because it comes through fast from my phone and up there. But no,
we're all good. Although I've got top chat on, not live chat. Let's change that. Cool. Here we go. Oh god, I'm having issues. I fixed it. Don't worry. Hello, Stephen Brady. It's a strange subject. I've not put much thought into it, to be honest. I hadn't until I saw it the other day, and like I say, I'm very, very torn for, because Dee just said, does it hurt? And that hadn't crossed my mind. The concept of not whether it hurts, but does trauma occur? And I kind of feel like even if it does, we all still do the heel prick for our kids. we all still like do the blood tests for the babies when they're born, and that hurts, but they don't remember that
does,
pain.
yeah, that is an immediate response for both of mine. That was, they both
Yeah.
burst
Oh,
into
Fred was in
tears straight
bits.
away. Yeah.
So in a way, does it matter the speed? Should we as citizens be doing as much as we can to make sure that everybody has access to healthcare by being as quick as we can? Like when if I go to the doctors, I am quick, because I know that there's somebody waiting. You know, I want to get seen, I want to get gone, I want to make sure that whoever's behind me isn't dying. So I speed everything up and get it done super quick, and you know, so in that respect, does it, you know, what do you think? What do you guys think? Hello, Jamie. Hi. No, that's everybody. Said hello to everybody.
That's
Oh,
yeah.
Jennifer.
Right.
Hi,
Oh,
Jennifer.
yeah. So I haven't really been saying hi to anyone. So yeah, I'll quickly got the list. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Jed. Hi, Chris. Hi, Steve. Hi, Jen.
And Madame's up
Hi,
there as well.
Madam
Madame was here.
Medusa. Yeah. Hey, P Mars. That's the list.
He was, yeah. Amazing.
If you
Hi,
stay silent, your voice will never be heard. Come on, guys, get in the chat. Get to know each other.
Cool. So if you're getting better with the press of Jamie, oh bless. To the other thing that I read today, this week, that's been in the news, that Jed briefly touched on for about 15 seconds last night was...
That's about how long he was on his hangout for, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Was the lorry with the 39, was it? 39?
Yeah, 39 dead bodies, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few things that I've seen cropping up on Facebook. A few things condemning Mo, his name is, and a few things #free Mo. And again, I am so torn in this because there's loads of different. I've been on Reddit. I've been on a few of the places the past couple of days, just to kind of ascertain what's going on, because there's quite a few different contradicting opinions, and obviously the police haven't found everything out, and they haven't issued a proper statement or anything that I know of as of about 1:00 this afternoon, because that's when I stopped looking. But there's a lot of people saying that the bloke who had that Mo, his name, had picked up the lorry about half an hour. He'd only had the actual trailer on the back for half an hour. 39 Chinese or nationalists found in the truck. The guy was arrested. It's actually they're actually Vietnamese. 25 of them were Vietnamese, from what I read. But yeah, so a lot of people were saying that he'd only had the trailer for 30 minutes. So how could he have known? Like, would this man have known if he's just a lorry driver and he's picking up trailers? Would he have known the job? Because it was a refrigerated trailer.
Well, see, as a lorry driver, not because I'm not one, but if I was one, as a lorry driver, then I would be checking the load of any lorry I was about to be driving. Personally.
You're not allowed to check. You're not allowed to break the seal.
Oh, you're not? Well, in that case, no. He has. He only has comparability if he knew it was a dodgy job in the first place. If it's just a job that he's employed on the books for, no. I wouldn't say he has comparability unless he knew what was going on. And there's not, I don't know whether there's a way to prove that or not. But again, unfortunately, all I really do know of this story is the headlines that pop up on my phone. So yeah, this I have zero detail on it whatsoever. So yeah, you've chucked me another curveball there.
Sorry, bro. So Jed just put the whole story stinks, and it does because, and I will explain why.
Well, because it's on the news for a start. But go on.
Yeah, but people are saying that he should be freed. That he has that he wouldn't have known what the crack was and wouldn't have known anything. But then he's not supposed to break the seal. That's what I read, that he's not allowed to. But half an hour into his journey, he got out of the lorry at a known trafficking spot and opened his lorry at a known trafficking spot. I don't know if that's information is variable, but he opened the trailer. Yeah, so he opened the trailer and then authorities were alerted. I don't know if he alerted authorities, and I don't know why he opened the trailer. Don't know if anybody knows why he would have opened the trailer or who alerted the authorities. But yeah, the trailer was opened half an hour into the journey. So could be a distraction tied in with Brexit. MPs dragged into Parliament to debate and guess the argument of Irish border pops up. Because he wasn't Irish national, although there were British flags all inside his cab. So,
well,
or
again,
English flag, I should say, because he was Northern Irish.
I was going to say, if he's just picking this truck up half an hour before, is it his cab? Is it? I mean, is it his?
But
truck?
he had the cab, so it's his cab. But they pick up trailers, don't they? But they
right.
their company
so
provides them with
the
cab, and then they pick up a trailer. Yeah, right, exactly.
Sorry.
So, like I said, there's so much contradicting views, arguments, facts, because they're not facts until they're actually, factualized. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I know what you mean. I'm just trying to think for the journalistic term for it, but it's not coming to me.
Investigated until they're actually confirmed. Because at the moment it's all just speculation. And Jed put it should be a police investigation, not debated in Parliament. Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. And we do find that always there's these things that are just there to distract us, like Ebola that distracted us from stuff. And now my friend Trig told me today that the norovirus is like out in the news again, and I'm like, well, that means that we're covering up something else, doesn't it? And I mean, as soon as Epstein was killed himself, whatever, there was something straight after that distracted us again. And it's like we're constantly being like distracted and
I mean,
just veered away from the truth and veered away from things.
Like the Jimmy Savile thing, like, I mean, nothing ever came of that, and all his connections and everything. I mean, nothing ever came from that. So what makes us think anything's going to come from Epstein is, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see something happen, but again, I really don't think anything's going to happen of it.
Well, the guys mentioned something interesting last night as to whether he's real or not.
With the deep fakes and all this kind of stuff.
Well, VB said, have you ever seen a video of him? And I says, well, I didn't say, but there is a video of him with Trump when Trump's very young. There is a video of him. But I feel like nothing's going to happen because of the connections that he has. Like, the only people that are going to wake up are the people that are watching this, or the people that are watching the only people that are going to know. The only people who aren't going to forget are the people who are watching chat shows like ours, and who are watching things that where people wanted to find the actual truth and not forget about the truth. People in their everyday lives who are watching Love Island and Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent, wherever you are, Stephen Brady, I worked on wagons and trailers, and you drop one thing off, pick up a full one, or you wait till it's full, and if they break the seal, the police are the only ones to break them, or it reaches its destination. So then why is there ever a reason why you would break the seal of a trailer or a wagon or a lorry? Is there ever a reason why you would? Well, like, if you hear a bang, obviously you're going to open it.
Yeah.
But do you have to call the police?
Yeah, I mean, if you're hearing bangs and stuff and they're obviously people, I think if if you're any kind of a decent human being, you're going to go and do it regardless of what you're supposed to do. You're going to open the thing, then ring the police. I mean, but it's like, all right, like I said, never a truck driver, but I worked for Royal Mail, and with the mail, it's not allowed to be opened. It's like there's nobody in a sorting office or a post office that is legally allowed to open mail. It has to be sent to a special centre where they're allowed to, where they have the license to open it and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'd imagine there'd be no Royal Mail employee that would break that. Like, I mean, if you know what I mean. So I mean, yeah, again with truck drivers, I imagine it's quite easy to look the other way as well, because that's just what you do anyway with your job. If you just like Stephen Brady says, you going down, picking it up, and off you go again. Like, I mean, see, I thought, not being funny, I thought if you're driving something around, you'd be responsible for the load, so you'd want to make sure the load was secure and all this kind of stuff. Like, so all this finding out that's sealed and stuff is a bit boggling to me. Why anybody would do the job of driving them around?
And would you hear people banging? If you're up in your cab, I highly doubt you'd hear anybody banging. Is it a possibility it's all fake news? Yeah, 100%. 100% it is. I mean, these people are all Vietnamese or of Oriental heritage, so none of us would know them. So they could just be pictures of random Vietnamese people that we would never ever meet.
Well, they could
so
be.
we would never be able to verify that. Yeah.
So again.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And so anything on mainstream news is dodgy. Sorry, I mean it is. It really is.
Yeah. So that begs the question: what are they distracting us from? What right now is going on that they're distracting us from?
See, this is probably where it'd be worth watching, like the live MP discussions and stuff like that, if you know what I mean, to see what acts they're trying to get pushed through at the moment, or this kind of thing and that kind of thing. I mean, I can't sit and watch that crap, but I'm sure there are people that do, and that's maybe people we should be going and asking what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, even Vietnamese people aren't that stupid to pay to get locked into a minus 25-degree refrigerated container. I read something that it's the Albanians, the Albanian traffickers, who are charging them £17,000. I read 17 and 14. Oh, well, there you go. So I've read 17 and 14, but the boyfriend has read 30 grand. So
yeah, I've heard they do, and these people like spend a lot of money to get over here, and that's why they end up usually in like slavery, trying to pay off the debt they've accumulated getting here, basically. Yeah.
And apparently there were text messages sent from a young girl saying, "Mum, I'm dying, I can't breathe." But surely, if you've got signal to text, you've got signal to phone authorities. If you're dying, even I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, if you ring your own, if an American was to ring 911 in England, it would automatically be diverted to 999. Is that correct? Or is that just something that I've read?
I don't know. I mean...
But also, if they've got the availability to text, they've got the availability to do a quick Google search to find out what the authorities' number is, because if you are that desperate to need to pay to get into a different country, then surely you're doing it because you want a better life, or you want protection and you value your life. So why wouldn't you phone the police? Like, why wouldn't you do the best that you can to do you know what I mean? Like, it just
I mean,
it doesn't ring true.
But trying to judge people by your standards is it's not always the best idea, especially when they're from such a different culture. Because I mean, it's
somebody's gonna jump in the park.
It's like we have slightly different values here, if you know what I mean, and stuff. It's like I think in Eastern cultures and stuff, a lot of the time, like sons are more valued than daughters, and elder children are more valued than the middle children, and all this kind of thing. Whereas we tend to like no favorites, no none of this, and no none of that kind of thing. So I think a lot of this, oh, they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't do that. A lot of the time, yeah, I think they would maybe pack their middle child into one of these places and send them off, hoping that they get there, but at the same time knowing that they're going to be less of a burden even if they don't make it there, kind of thing. And again, I could just be reading like into this from the programming I've had from movies and how they want us to think these people think. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I mean,
with all that being said, the youngest in there was 15. Most of them were a lot older, middle-aged. Then there was only 8 women. Out of the 39, there was only 8 women, which means there's 31 men, unless my maths is wrong, which it's not. So
men have the greater opportunity for earning, especially off the books and stuff, because you're less likely to look at.
Why wouldn't they phone somebody? Why wouldn't they phone an authority?
Well, probably because they're being told the whole time over there, whatever you do, never go to the police. Never go to the police. Don't ever call the authorities. You'll just get sent back home.
Mm-hmm. But is being sent back home worse than dying? You know?
Maybe not to some of these people, or maybe they don't realise they're going to die, because this is the thing. We know they died. If this happened, yeah, we know they died. I don't think at any point up to that point they're thinking we're going to die.
But
I'm sure they're
supposedly
thinking somebody's going to get us out of it. Yeah, because they've probably been told it's going to get uncomfortable. It's going to get hard to breathe. It's going to get. I'm sure they got told all these kind of things that they were feeling and was happening to them. So they probably didn't realise until it, until it was too late that they were actually going to die. I don't know. I mean, again, this is really me thinking about this for the first time. So
no, that is more than true. But it still begs the question. Like I said, what are they hiding? Or like Jed said, is it to distract government, or is it to distract us from Brexit? So that if people are watching Parliament discuss what we consider important events, even though they shouldn't be discussing oh, one sec. Cakes, how do I get on the chat with you? Yeah, they get into Britain by smugglers. And click on the link, the 1v1me link that says join us, streamyard.com. And then there's the following numbers. Just click on that. And then if you're on a mobile device, as Dee puts it, if you're on your phone, just keep hitting continue, or you might have to press the 3 dots at the top of your screen. And then you'll be able to pop on, and then Dee will accept you. Just show your face, because otherwise we'll not be able to verify the folks, the peoples. But yeah, if we're seeing good Parliament doing things, if we're watching them debate what we consider to be important events, does that stop people from being like, oh, Brexit, why is Brexit not happening, blah 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 blah? Because it won't stop me from thinking that, but would it stop your average?
No, but what it might do is stop people looking at things long enough for them to sneak a little act in that gets rid of another few of our rights that we never really had in the first place, but thought we had. And I mean, so all that kind of stuff there would definitely be big time questions for me. Yeah.
Or is it the whole we need to secure our borders more, even though we control the borders and Europe doesn't control our borders?
I'm wondering, is the stream lagging? I can only put what might have happened there is Steve is just joining us, so it might have gone a bit laggy because while people join it sucks a lot of the bandwidth. So give me a second, and welcome to Stephen. How's it going, man?
How you doing, lad?
Stephen.
How you doing?
Yeah,
good,
not too bad.
What I was saying about that, about the wagons and things like that, yeah. You always get checked before they even go out of anywhere, and if these haven't been checked by the security or whoever's doing the jobs or whatever, then the truck drivers, it's his responsibility for his trailer and his truck.
No, just I'm playing control.
Yeah, and everything. No, it's all his paperwork and that. Like you said with the Royal Mail and things like that, they're not allowed to open different open mail or anything like that.
Yeah.
But would you know what you're carrying? Would you know what your cargo is? Like, would a piece of paper tell you what your cargo is?
Yeah, it tells you what your cargo is, yeah, because when you get to the destination and that, yeah, you've got a piece of paper there to say what you're carrying. Like with timber, 4x2s, 6x2s, you're carrying a load of this and that and other. So, yeah, I mean, you've got all your paperwork there. But if they're in a freezer wagon, then whatever's in that frozen wagon, they've jumped in, not being checked out by where they've come from. They're shipped across the borders. How long have they been in that? How long have they been in the containers? How long have they been in the ferry for? This is what you've got to think about. They could have been in there for 3 or 4 days. Nobody knows, do they?
Well, so is there dates on the invoices and stuff of when stuff was dropped off, when it gets picked up? Is that like, so there's signed, dated and all this kind of thing by different drivers that have picked up the load, and so they'll be able to trace it back then if the paperwork's been done correctly then?
Yeah, if the paperwork's been done correctly and all this, that and other, yeah, and they've changed the drivers coming through port to port to port. Now, you go through from Calais through to Zeebrugge, down through Spain. It could have come from anywhere like that. It could have come from anywhere. But it depends how long they've been travelling in that back of that freezer wagon for. They could be travelling there for what? For weeks.
Well, yeah, especially if they come from China or Vietnam. Like, I mean, yeah, that's a long ass way to try.
If they sneaked in on that trailer or anything like that, yeah. Why haven't the customs and excise gone through what they're supposed to do with Calais and through Dover and whatever else? Use pinpointing trucks and things like that, and sort it all out on that.
Well, yeah, because I thought they had like CO2 detectors and stuff nowadays that trucks are supposed to go through and all this kind of thing, aren't they, to pick up whether there's people breathing in these things and stuff. But
well, it is, yeah. That's what they're supposed to do. But if they haven't picked up on that CO2 and they've been in there for weeks and that, nobody's going to be breathing, have they? They just think it's going to be frozen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It is sounding dodgy as hell, and like they say, if all this paperwork and all that's supposed to be done, there's all these signatures, then why is it taking? Why hasn't it already been solved? Like, why haven't they backtracked and got all the people that have driven this truck found out? It can't be that difficult, surely. I mean,
well, there's been 4 arrested so far, but it again, like you've just said, why are they not being checked? Because that's another thing, like guns getting into our country. How are guns getting into our country? What shock? So boyfriend's from Dublin. The 2 times that I've flown twice. Yeah, the 2 times that I've flown over to Dublin, when I've come back through customs, none of me's been checked. Our country have just assumed that Dublin has checked me. But why should we just be assuming that Dublin's checked me? And there was a woman on my flight that had flown from somewhere in America to Washington, then Washington to Dublin, and then she was flying Dublin to Birmingham. So why is it that she's not? She should be checked because she's not even from Europe, you know?
No, she's not. Well, I mean, it's like with that other woman, wasn't it? Who, that diplomatic woman who killed that biker, all because she was a diplomatic's husband, wife, or whatever, and she's got away with it. That's why they. I mean, why don't they check them? Well, because she's a diplomatic's wife or something like that, and Why hasn't she been checked?
I
No,
just
I
can't
did hear
comprehend it.
something about diplomatic immunity the other day.
Yeah.
I'm not. Again, it was just one of those headline things that pops up on my phone. I'm not. I don't watch to see. Maybe I should start watching the news again or something. I don't know. I can add maybe more to these kind of conversations. But yeah, no, it's.
Useless.
I'm useless. I'm
Give me 2
terrible.
minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
All right, bud.
All right. Okay. But yeah, that is another thing. The fact that I wasn't checked when coming back home, like, and they checked me. The thing is that each time I went to Dublin, I was checked at Dublin security. Like, they checked to see who I was. They had a conversation with me because I wasn't flying with a passport. I was flying with a bus pass that doesn't have my name on it, which is ridiculous, by the way. Absolutely ridiculous that I can fly with a bus pass.
You shouldn't need anything. You should just be able to go anywhere you want.
No, I know, but for the purpose of security, we need to know who people are when they're coming into a country, and we need to check what they have. Like, guns and stuff should not be able to enter our country at all.
Oh no, it should be all be checked, shouldn't it? Should all be checked out, and everything that comes into this country should be checked out.
We'd never get anything, I suppose, if we did that though, because it just take too long. I mean, there's what 70 million people living in England or the UK or whatever. Like it's a lot of people, and I mean, checking through every single package that comes in here. I mean, I imagine that's not easy, which is why I thought they had these big setups where they could check for CO2 and metal detectors, maybe, or I don't know, other fucking X-ray machines I don't like all the other things that the technologies that we have today to check all this stuff. Like I would have thought they'd have had all them into one place.
We've got all these X-ray machines, and for all the cargos and everything that come into Dover. We've got an X-ray machine in there, but it might have been broken down, or they might use it for somewhere else. I don't know. So I mean, that's why he's been caught through Essex and through into Grays, and the police have just stopped it there and then. Don't know, do we? Until it all comes out finalised out.
But it's not the first case, you know. It's not the first time we're hearing of this. So why is it still happening? Why aren't we having these people?
Well, or could it be to bring focus to Brexit? Not to distract from it. Could it to because again, obviously, a lot of Brexit hangs on the whole illegal immigrants and stuff. So maybe it could, doesn't it? Yeah, so maybe it could be a
Brexit.
Pardon?
It hangs on the whole balance of this Brexit. Like, I mean, we've only got 4 days left of it, and is he going to come out with a no deal? Is he going to come out with it, or is he going to come out with a deal? Don't know, do we?
Nope. Nope.
Time will tell now. I mean, yeah.
I mean, at the moment, it's all hush-hush, isn't it, with all the government and all the parliaments and everything? It's all hush-hush at the moment. So we find out what's going to happen.
I don't think Brexit will happen. I'll be very shocked if Brexit does happen. I'll eat my hat. I don't have a hat.
I'll be shocked if it happens in any meaningful way that actually means anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't come up with a no deal, isn't it? You can't come up with a no deal, but I mean, what's going to happen to everything else then? Is it all going to go sky high for everyone else?
Like, again, we'll see. I mean,
I have no idea.
I don't see why us leaving Europe would suddenly make everything much more expensive. And again, why any deal has to be changed at all just because we say, no, we no longer want to be in Europe. I mean, it just makes no real sense unless Europe is a scam to start with.
It doesn't.
And
but I also don't see why we need to. Oh, can you hear my cat? But I also don't see why we need to leave. You know, I don't understand.
You don't understand why we've got to leave and why we've got to come out of it. We don't know, but I mean, it's what people voted for, wasn't it? Come out of Brexit.
Oh yeah, but I don't understand why there was a vote in the first place. I don't.
All down to Theresa May, wasn't it? Or all down to Theresa May.
No, David Cameron.
Not rest of them. Scroll down to them.
You're
See,
too far away from the
thing-
mic for us to hear you.
we've not even had an elected official since David Cameron.
No.
No. Well, I mean, we have, because we did vote for Theresa May.
Well, yeah, we voted for
Did we
it.
vote
She
for her,
did
did we?
She did a snap election about a month or so
That's
after
how
she came
much
in.
I watched the news. I didn't even know.
Yeah, she did a snap election not long after she got into power. And yeah, we were supposed to vote her out. And people didn't vote her out. But even now, like Jed mentioned last night about voting and there being an election on the 12th of December, I don't know who I'd vote for. Me and you have spoke about this before, G. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I know you're not going to vote or you'll deface your ballot box.
Yeah, no,
But-
I just won't bother.
I mean-
Yeah.
I mean, whoever gets in, like, they're all going to screw it up for each and every one of them, aren't they? They'll screw it up for everything and every one of us.
But does it matter who's elected?
Don't really matter, but I mean, they'll still make a cock up somewhere down the line.
No, I
It's
mean,
like
are
David
they all
Icke
not
says,
the same party?
Oh,
Well, it
no,
doesn't
but
matter who's
you've got
elected. The
Labour.
government will get in.
No, it
Yeah,
don't matter who
that's what
gets
I
in.
mean.
No matter
They're-
who gets in.
I don't believe that the MPs and the prime ministers that we vote for are the faces that make the decisions. So I don't think it matters who's voted in at this point. I just no matter who's voted in, the same thing's going to happen every single time. The same laws that would have been passed by
Exactly.
Conservatives
gonna
will be
come
passed
in.
by Labour. So I don't think it really matters who we vote for at this point. So it's very. What do we do?
It's a one-way system, isn't it, for them all?
It is,
It's a one-way
yeah.
system for them all. 'Cause I mean,
Personally, I and what I'm going to do about it is I'm going to sit and bitch and moan on YouTube, and I'm going to have a game on Xbox every now and then. I'm going to practice my guitar, and I'm going to get creative with the bits I can. That's it. That's I'm going to live my life. It's simple as that. Like, because
What else can you do? There's not
Yeah.
enough of us to take to the streets anymore. There's no.
I mean, look at all these homeless people. Look at all these homeless people out there. Yeah. And they can't do anything about it because the government are just not giving the houses or anything like that to the right people, to the proper people.
See, I have an issue when homelessness is brought up in conversations, because in my area there are 5 people on the streets where I live. There are 6. Sorry. There's George, right? Can't remember the other guy's name, but he's got a dog called Charlie. And then there's this woman, and they are the ones that are legitimately homeless. But all 3 of them have turned down housing. George has been offered housing. Pardon?
You know why they got turned down housing? You know why they turned them down?
Why?
Because the rent's too high, and they can't afford. They can't afford to keep running of the property.
But if you don't have a job, you get your housing paid for you. And in my area, you get £560. You can get shared houses for that. You can get really bad flats for that, but it's still better than being on the streets.
Well, it is, yeah.
You know, and they've been offered that. So why are they're turning down houses to stay on the streets? And all 3 of these people that are legitimately homeless. Sorry, there's 4 homeless and there's 3 that aren't homeless. We see them getting on a bus and going to an actual house that they live in, and it's not a shared house because my friend lives in that area.
Yeah.
And they're just begging on the streets because they can. But why are they turning down these houses? You know?
is because they can't because when they can't afford it, so they've got the council tax to pay for.
But they
Which is
don't,
what-
because they don't have a job. They don't have a job. You don't have to pay council
Yeah,
tax if you don't have a job.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. You still got to pay council tax even though you
Well,
haven't got a job.
yeah, okay, you have to pay £20 a month.
Yeah.
£20 a month.
Right.
But if they don't pay that £20 a month, and they just think, right, sorry, I'm not paying it. And what happens then? They get kicked out of the houses.
Well, okay, the 4 people that are homeless in the streets need to stop injecting heroin into their arms and drinking vodka on the streets.
Exactly.
They need to stop smoking and they need to stop drinking. Pardon?
Spending money like that, I mean, you might as well just.
I work, okay? If I did not work, I would have my own flat, okay? Because the council would pay for the flat. I would pay £20 a month on council tax, and I would be laughing. Like people who, like, you go into Chelmsley Wood, you sound like your accent sounds close to where I live, to be perfectly honest. But if you go into Chelmsley Wood, you'll find all the people sitting on their ass on their dole in state-funded houses and everything else. So I don't have sympathy for the homeless people in my area. That's not to say I don't have sympathy for every homeless person at all, because I don't know every homeless person. But the 4 people that I know, we have seen heroin needles round his head, and he has been offered housing because I've spoken to the community support people that look after him in the streets and have to move him along when he's choking on his own vomit. Wow, rude. No.
Yeah,
Cake's definitely a woman.
They do all that. I mean, they do that in Leeds. I mean, they do it all over here. I mean, I've worked with homeless people. I've worked with street researchers and things like that. But
yeah,
it's.
So, yeah, well, my mum's worked in hostels and stuff as well, so yeah, she's been pretty involved with the homeless side of things, and she's got no sympathy for the homeless. So that might tell you something. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I worked with outreach, and I worked with street kitchens and things like that, and you see them all there, and you're thinking, some of these here need houses, but the channel said to them, the council are not giving them the houses, they're not giving them the places to live, or anything like that, because they're all drug addicts and things like that. I mean, I've seen 5 people in Leeds over the last 3 months died because of the cold weather and everything. So I mean, you see them all underneath the arches and that, all snuggled down in duvets, and when I'm going to work in the morning outside train station, just laid out there, and police are moving them on, and security there. I mean, the general says to them, can't you just leave them alone? They've got nowhere to live. No, they need moving on.
Well, see, again, unfortunately, the society we live in doesn't account for them. There is no place for them to go. Although apparently, apparently there is this like big homeless city that's, I can't remember exactly where it was, but it's a place where like all the homeless like seem to gather anyway, and there seems to be like places like that in lots of countries. And again, these people don't want to be part of society, so fuck them. If you know what I mean, they don't want to live society's rules. Fuck them. Like, I mean, they it's harsh, but these people, like, they don't deserve anything. They don't deserve fuck all. Like, nobody deserves anything. You get what you deserve. If you lived on the streets, it's probably because you've done shit that you deserve to live on the streets for, like, or haven't done shit. I mean, it's just the fucking way it is. Like, you don't want to live by society's rules, then you're not gonna have a nice cushy house. You're not gonna have all the bits that go along with being in a system of society.
And that's the other thing, rules and regulations. I mean, you look at if you look at hostels, and I would not want to be in a hostel myself, and I would never want to find myself in a situation where that's my only option. But if you don't follow the rules of the hostels, you're going to get kicked out. So you've got to respect the rules in the roof that you've been given. You know, if you're still living with your parents and your dad turns around and says to me, "It's my house, my rules," or "You'll do as you're told while you're living under my roof," it's the same thing. You've got to respect the people who are putting up your board. You know, so.
Like I say, we're a spoiled society, and people expect, like, it's like just because you want to live in a nice, comfortable house, you think everyone else wants to live in a nice, comfortable house. There are a lot of homeless people who just don't. They just don't give a fuck. They just don't want to be. They want nothing to fucking do with it. And I'm not saying that's a vast majority or any excuse for the rest, but
no,
there are people that literally just do not want any part of society, and they're there by choice.
And obviously, this is very different to American homelessness. I've heard that I don't know if there's any Americans in the chat. Please verify if you have information. But I've heard that there's a lot less help and a lot less support for homeless people in America than there is in England, because there is help and support here. There is. Like, I've known friends who have been kicked out of their house. They've gone into sheltered accommodation and they've followed the rules, and within a few weeks they've been put up into their own council house rented place. And you know, I struggle to see where there's an issue, like an issue for people who actually want to make something of themselves, no matter what that standard is, because obviously we all have different standards of what we want to make for ourselves. Obviously there's not a universal, you know, so
I mean, yeah, and again, don't get me wrong, I'm just speaking from the way it is, like, at the moment. Obviously, in my ideal society, that there would be no homeless people, because it would be a place for everyone, regardless, like, even if or a comfortable place if they chose to have it, like, so, but we don't live in that society.
We don't live in what society?
You don't know about building.
We don't live in the ideal society,
no,
do we?
We don't. Not at all. Not at all. There's many things wrong with today's society. Many things.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Matthew George was trying to find a transgender stream. That's because we've got tag transgender. We've got hashtag transgender.
Oh yeah, I've left a few of the old tags in because I figured we'd probably bring up old subjects and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, and I will try and find our old one. So carry on yapping amongst yourselves, guys.
Stephen called the druggy beggar lady who frequents Leeds train station daily begging a skank last week. He shouted it loud. I felt really sorry for her. See, I would never berate somebody in the street. Bad Stephen. But at the same time, if I could physically see somebody taking drugs, and when I say drugs, I don't mean smoking weed, but if I saw somebody like sniffing coke or injecting heroin into their eyeballs, I'd have a problem with that.
Well, the reason why I call her the only reason why I call that lass a skank, because she was living in a house across the road from where I used to live. And I was working for the landlord, which was Brian, which was his landlord, which was her landlord. Yeah. Now she kept on coming up to people, coming up to me and that, and thinking that, yeah. Well, I've got I was coming down York Road, and now she only lived on York Road, just off York Road. Oh, you haven't got £2 for my bus fare, have you? Tell them I can't get home. She lives out the corner. So that's why I call her a skank. Because she lives around the corner from me.
That makes perfect sense. I'd have
the reason why.
Yeah.
But I mean, if somebody coming out to you and you live out the corner from this last year, and you're there like giving her what, £2, £4, £6, whatever. Yeah, giving her all this money and that, yeah. And she sat there smoking a cigarette and that, yeah. And you can't buy a bus ticket, but you can buy your fags. That's the reason why I call her a skank, because That's what she is.
Fair
You know,
enough.
she lives on,
Fair
you know,
enough.
she lives on the corner. That's the reason why I call her skank every time I see her in the train station. Because she keeps walking up to people. On a morning, 4:30 in the morning, when I'm going for my train, at 5 o'clock, sometimes 6 o'clock, depending on what time I get there for, she's still walking round the train station, asking people for money, because she hasn't got a bus ticket to get home with. She only lives on the corner.
Sucked his dick for a scone, for a score bag once. Okay.
Yeah.
Age does collect a lot of people regularly. Can tell she's heavily into drugs. She can barely walk. Yeah, it's the same with the same with the people around by me. Where in my town, like you can see them and you just know that they're not. You just know that they're using, but at the same time, if you can't get a house, what else is there to do? Thanks, babe.
Not take heroin.
No, well, yeah, not take heroin, but I understand why they drink. I understand why homeless people drink. I don't understand why they take drugs, but I understand why they drink, because I think I would if I was on the streets. I'd be drunk all the time. I apologise if you can hear bangs. There's fireworks everywhere at the moment.
A lot of the time, like I say, they're not drinking because they're on the streets. They're on the streets because they're drinking and taking drugs. It's like I say, it's their own fault.
Yeah,
it's
definitely,
self-responsibility. Like, you're gonna do drugs. There's a chance you're gonna get addicted to drugs. There's a chance you're gonna spend all your money on drugs. There's a chance you're gonna fucking end up on the street.
Yeah, but she had a perfect house with this lass. She had a perfect house, she had a perfect home and everything. And with Brian, who I was working for, did all the house out perfect, cooker, washing machine, fridge, freezer, everything that was in their house. They put all that in there, and then I think it was about 2 weeks later, before she even moved out, she moved out with all his stuff as well, and sold all his stuff. And she ended up on the streets.
Terrible.
So I mean, he spent all that money on that house and everything. I gone and decorated it all out for her and everything else, and next thing you know, like she walked off with it. She walked off with all the lot and sold it all. That's why she got kicked out.
Which is, you can't help some people. Literally, they're just.
You can't.
I mean, and this is the problem with a lot of these things. They're there to try and help everyone, and people who don't want to be helped will take advantage of those systems and spoil it for other people. So a lot of these things that could have helped people that actually needed it actually become useless or just disappear because they're abused and don't seem to help.
But I mean, he spent a lot of money on the house, because it's got a house, which is a 2-bed house, and it's also got a flat underneath where she was living, which was a 1-bedroom flat. Did it all out perfect, brand new furniture, brand new clothes, everything he put in the house for her. Next thing you know, like, she's walked off with a lot. So what else can you do? You can't help people like that. That's why I call her a skank every time I see her.
Well, this is. I mean, I imagine she don't really pay much attention to what you got to say anyway. So.
Well, no, but I mean, she comes up to me like and asks me for bloody money, and I say, "Get away, skank." That's what I say. I don't offend her, I don't abuse her, I don't like that. I'll just say, "Go away, skank." And that's the reason why I call her it, because that's what she is.
Fair enough. So each to their own. I'm kind of See, I mean, I am one of those monks that just walks down the street. If I've got spare change when I'm asked for it, I'll give it out. So I mean, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, no. At the same time, I've got no sympathy for these people that find themselves in that situation anyway, because it's usually down to them anyway.
I mean, they all get money, they all get benefits, they all get some sort of money, but why beg on the street and you're asking people for money and things like that? I mean, we've got to live as well as what they've got to live as well, even though they're on the streets, they still get some sort of benefit. So I mean, you got like street, like sheltered housing, sheltered, all these sheltered places and things like that. But they've closed one down. They've closed 3 down in Leeds, big ones, which was St Anne's. Now that was a homeless hostel. They've got the Crypt, which was a homeless church, and that's been shut down now. So where they're going to go? They've got nowhere to go now.
No,
They're all getting closed down.
See, well, again, right, we've all got legs. We can all fuck off to a different place if we so chose. It's like I was saying to Cake's, like, I mean, she truly wants to get on the fucking property ladder, move away from Birmingham and to a cheaper fucking area, like.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
To a cheaper area, I'll find somewhere else.
Exactly. I mean, why homeless people go to the cities is because they're looking for hangouts. If I found myself on the streets, I wouldn't be on the fucking streets in the city. I'd be off in the fucking woods somewhere, sorting my fucking self out.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I'd do. I would probably, if I found myself on the streets, I'd have enough money. Am I muted? No, I'm not. I'd have enough money to go out and buy the things that I need to survive, i.e. a trowel and some seeds, you know. And then I'd just live off wood pigeon. Or I'd bin dip. Is that what it's called? Dumpster diving.
Get a van in this country for £150 and live in that.
Yeah, there you go. Get a van in this country for £150, live in that.
In that, yeah.
Become
Obviously, you've got to
gypsy.
find somewhere to park it for free then. But I mean, again, there's still plenty of places where you can park for free.
Yeah, my road you can park between like 4 p.m.
Actually,
and
no,
9
because you
a.m.
still need road tax. So you would have to find somewhere private place off road if you wanted to just live for £150 in the van anyway.
Get in the van. Yeah, so so we got into homelessness. There you go. Look, see how it develops. Oh, we've lost Stephen. Okay.
Oh,
hello, D.
Oh, thanks so much for popping by there, Steve. Cheers, mate. And yeah, probably see you around on over at Jamie's. And
I was gonna say that is Jamie's stepdad, right?
Well, not it's Jennifer's
Jen's
boyfriend.
partner.
Yeah, I don't think they're married, so not technically stepdad or anything. No, but yeah, Jennifer.
My dad and my
partner,
my dad and my stepmom aren't married, but she's still my stepmom. Fight me. I made a good homelessness. What's your view, Jed? Get Jed on.
Jed, I put the link out a few times.
Was she trying to get in the bin?
Yeah.
Have they been fed? Yeah, you fed them.
Fed them, yeah.
Right. That was high pitched.
Fed
them, yeah. Look at
it. Right, I'll try and find a link for that one, Jed. Give me just a second. So apparently Jed's done a video on homelessness, so I'm
nice.
Gonna try and find that one.
Spare change, it's called. Change. And that's another one about the drugs. Should we be having sympathy for drug users who are addicted? There's a post circulating at the moment about diabetics and their insulin and users having methadone. So should we be funding both? You know.
See, no, it is. It's a it's a dilemma because again, you can only help people that want to be helped. And if you found yourself on the street, there's a good chance you didn't want to be helped. So again, it's not a blanket statement. I know there are people that find themselves there for some other reasons and stuff, but they're in the minority. Most homeless people are there because they fucked up in some way, or they like. I mean, again, it's something I really have no sympathy over. So, what should we be doing? Methadone programs for drug dealers, like for people who are drug addicts, and all that kind of thing. No, because methadone's worse than the drug itself in the first place. So you just swapping one addiction for another.
Well, Dan's just passed me his phone. Oh, that's bright. Oh, gosh. In 2001, Portugal became the first European country to abolish all criminal penalties for personal drug possession under Law 30-2000. And is that a solution? Because I know that for you that's a solution. Well, I'm pretty sure for you that's a solution, D.
So go on. Sorry, say that again. I was too busy putting that link in the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm very easily distracted.
In 2011, Portugal became the first European country to decriminalize drugs.
Yeah, I think Guatemala did it as well. Or other, there's been a couple of countries. I think in almost every country it's been done. Yeah, addiction rates drop through the floor. Like, I mean, it's crazy that the effect it has. But again, I've only got media to go on this. So how truthful I found it, I don't know.
But would that solve problems here if we made it legal? If we made everything, all narcotics legal?
Not straight away, no. I think there'd be a spike
like
at the beginning where people just went nuts and like, "Way, fucking, we can do everything," and then like loads of people die. But yeah, I think purely because again of the culture we're in at the moment. But once it was over and done with, yeah, I think it would have nothing benefits for the country.
But normal people like me, Dan, my mum, my dad, I wouldn't go out and be like, cool, heroin's legal now, I'm going to go and inject myself. You know, I wouldn't go and do that. And obviously I can't judge the entire populace by my standards, but I can't imagine every next person going and start injecting heroin. Or I could imagine seeing a rise in coke, because coke's somewhat glorified. Like, I know quite a lot of people who have taken coke. I personally haven't, and I don't think I ever would, because I do have an addictive personality, and I would not want to get addicted to coke. I already have too many ups and downs as it is. So I would. I mean, I don't think you would go out and just inject yourself, would you?
Oh, well, no, like I say, I mean, heroin, unfortunately, that's one drug. I mean, no, I say unfortunately, I've never taken it, but I never would, even given the choice. So yeah, no, but again, that's just me. I've tried pretty much every other one. So I mean, again, it's
yeah. See, I haven't, like, even LSD or any of that. I wouldn't, or mushrooms. So I wouldn't go and just be like, yeah, let's drop some tabs.
Well, it's like a lot of most of this experience obviously was like starting in the teenage years, when it's a rebellion thing. You're doing it because it's illegal, and I think if you could stop that rebellion, stop people getting into it before their brains are fully developed and they're having mature decisions and stuff, if you know what I mean. So it would stop people then later on getting addicted to stuff, I think. So yeah, it would, again, it'd be a slower thing maybe, but yeah, by taking away that taboo element from it, I think it would stop an awful lot of people from even bothering trying it in the first place. Yeah, I don't think people are going to just be rushing out to do it just to do it. Like, no.
Yeah, because I drank. I remember being 12 and drinking a litre of rum. Don't do that, children. It's not a. Get what I mean? It's not a good idea. But I don't know if the reason why I drank when I was younger was because it was illegal. Like, I got served from the age of like 13. I was getting served for alcohol, and the legal age was still 18. So I don't know if I don't know if it is a rebellious thing or this is against the law, so I shouldn't. I literally think it's a peer thing. I genuinely believe that it's my friend's having it, so I can have it.
Yeah, but that peer thing, I think, comes from the fact that it's illegal in the first place. Like, it's a group, it's a cultural programming in a way.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think it's a rebellious. I don't think it's a rebellious thing. Hello, Stephen. Welcome back.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, I got knocked off. Yeah, I got knocked off for some reason.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's cool. So if I put it, no, so I'm trying to not that one. I'm trying to add that one. How's it going, VB? Great hangout last night, mate.
Yeah. Jed just put, I was just thanking Dee and Cakes for carrying the show last night after my sudden absence. And then VB's put, Jed, thanks for abandoning your co-host. No, I don't know what you guys on about. It was Grey Area featuring 1v1Me. I liked it for a while that you had Jed and VB at the top and then me and you at the bottom, so it was like the two co-hosts of the streams, like top and bottom. It was very cute. We were a little bit worried towards the end of the stream that we were stepping on toes and that, like, you can always edit us out. We won't feel it was more
yeah, especially once VB had gone, it was kind of like, oh crap, what do we do now? This like it was all right, fair enough when Validation Boy was there because he's co-host anyway. But yeah, when he dropped out, it was a bit. So it was like awesome. We had Martin, Flat Earth British. Yeah, we had in there last night. He helped carry the show as well. So and it was great.
1v Grey Area me.
With him. Yeah.
1v Grey Area me. That's what VB's just put. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the chat, especially while Jed was still there, and then up until VB. It was essentially Grey Area asks Cakes lots of questions about Britain. That was essentially what happened to Grey Area. We got into feminism. We got into quite a lot of things. It went quite well, to be fair. I was very impressed. It was quite fluid. I could see VB was like, "What question can I ask her next? Let's make her squirm." So we've lost Stephen again.
Right, Steve, just go back up and click the link if you want to join back in, bud.
You're more than welcome. But yeah, VB ask Kate's question time.
And anyone else? Sorry, yeah. If you want to join as well, just go back up. I'll not post it too far up. Feel free to join us.
Anyone, feel free. You're more than welcome. Change your subject. And 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've been going on, hour and 17 minutes at the moment, so we'll probably only be going for another 45 minutes or so anyway. We try and get it done by about 11 o'clock, don't we? So keep it going for like 2 hours. Yeah.
No, I'm happy to finish when the conversation...
And actually, you saying that, actually, let me find, because I'm sure Martin Leaker, Flat Earth British, he's doing a premiere at 10:45. So... I'll find that and stick a link in for anybody who wants to go over and catch Flat Earth British. Again, I know it might take some of our viewers away at the end there, but...
That's okay. My group of friends drank a few years before I joined them. I was the geek of the group. Whilst they were all living to get drunk, I tried to avoid it, but gave in to peer pressure eventually to be in the group. Yeah, I can't remember what... Well, to be fair, when I drank at 12, I was hanging around with 14-year-olds. And the 14-year-olds were hanging around with 14, 15, 16-year-olds. So when I first drank, it was because all of the cool boys were drinking, and I think I just probably wanted to fit in. I was a 12-year-old girl, you know. I just entered this like goth scene, and bless her. I just entered this like gothic kind of emo-y kind of scene, and everybody was all cool, and everybody was like on the music videos that I was watching.
Ideal.
So I probably was, yeah. who was the mysterious lady?
Oh, Rain
sweetheart.
Kisses, yeah.
Rain
Oh,
Kisses.
wow.
Oh my god. We did mention your shiny head at the start of our stream, VB. I honestly was flabbergasted. I did not know how to proceed at all. Obviously, because I'm not from the flat Earth world either. You're all dropping names that I was
Hey,
like,
I'd never come across Rain Kisses before. That was something else. Like, yeah.
And I was shocked because the beginning of Grey Area, Jed made this long speech about people not showing their faces, and then you let in a blank screen, and I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? There's like a faceless person here. One of Jeff Stewart's ex-cult followers. I don't know who Jeff Stewart is.
Sorry, Stephen, mate. I've just noticed his best. Sorry, I'm too busy paying attention to chat and stuff, man. Fucking hell.
No, what about it?
But yeah, I didn't know where to put myself when she joined the chat last night. I didn't know what to say. She caught me completely off guard. Well, I'm sure she caught VB completely off guard as well, to be fair. Traumatized.
I'm sure he went to sleep with a smile on his face last night.
Same we all did last night.
Oh, were you there as well, Stephen?
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I mean,
Okay.
I fell asleep with a smile on my face last night.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, was it last night with Jennifer? Last night, was it?
Oh, yeah.
Don't make Jamie cry.
Gotta go fuel last
Sorry,
night.
Jamie.
Gonna go fuel
last night. I'm terrible, I am.
Yeah, Jed, help.
Yeah.
Jed, help.
Don't know how to proceed now. I'm going to drink some tea.
Don't blame you. I'm going to go make myself coffee.
It's sorry, this Rain Kisses though. It's like I'm trying to get back on that. Oh, you get a tat on the head. It threw me, but it didn't throw me in a way. It was because like I kind of went along with her a little bit, but yeah, at the same time, it was just.
Because she kept asking you if you're wanking over her. Of course you were gonna like you fucking conformist, man. Like, okay, right. So Jed, she came in and she was like fangirling over VB, and she was like, "Oh my god, VB, I love you." And
your
she
head
was saying,
is just
amazing.
I just want to grease it up and put it inside me. Oh.
She was like, I want to oil up your head and put it inside me. Now let's bear in mind VB has a bald head. Now I said like vaginas should not stretch like that, love. And she was like, why are you talking about my vagina? And I was like, because you just did. You literally just said you wanted to put VB's head inside you. Unless you're talking about cannibalism, there is only, well, I mean, there's technically two, but there's only one other like answer to that. And I was just like looking at D like, what do we do? What do we say? Jed, why aren't you kicking her out?
The trouble is, once I started saying stuff, like I say, she didn't put a focus on me and stuff. So it was like, oh no, what have I done now? Like, fucking hell, should have just left her alone, concentrate on VB.
Yeah, you will. And then like, and then you can only usually see when D's on his phone, he's lying down as he is now, but he's more slanty, so you can only see his left arm, I think that is.
Yeah, it's usually more of a, like you see in like I'm looking down on the camera normally. I set this up so I'm kind of more level because I don't want to be looking down on you guys. Like,
so she kept asking where Dee's hand had gone and stuff like that, and I was just like, all right then. I literally tried to stay as silent as I could so she didn't turn on to me because she mentioned women as well, and I was like, I don't want this. And yeah, definitely go back and have a listen to it all.
Definitely go back and have a listen. Fucking hell. In fact, I'm going to link it again
traumatizing.
because I linked it at the beginning. A lot of people could be wondering, like, "Hey, what the fuck are they talking about?" So let's find that again.
You want to get to about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, and that's when
I
she
can't.
jumps on
No,
the
I
thing.
can't timestamp it, but I can.
I'm not telling you to timestamp. I'm telling Jed,
sorry.
like, what time it was. God, D, it's not all about you. Jesus, eternal Padawan.
Such a narcissist, aren't I? God.
I can't believe you've done this.
What have I done? What have I done now? Sorry, I'm lost.
Terrible.
Stop multitasking.
It's your own fault. I mean, you have but yourself to blame. You didn't even come back when I put my unicorn on the screen. I honestly thought like Jed would have something to say about this.
Yeah, Jen wants that.
She's not allowed it. It's mine.
Yeah, she wants one like that.
Well, it's mine.
I'm gonna see it. Bedroom is full of unicorns.
But yeah, that one I've just put in. Yeah, you need to go back and at least find the Rain Kisses segment if you want a bloody good laugh.
I think it's an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, was Jen in the stream last night? I swear Jen was in the stream last night because somebody had mentioned that somebody liked the unicorn at least. Somebody did.
Yeah.
So
probably Jen.
I don't know if she was on it last night though. Don't know. Because I know a lot of people moved from Jamie's to Jed's.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about Jamie. He sends people over when he's finished with other people and that. Sorry, Stephen, mate.
Yeah, I've got hundreds of unicorns she's put.
Yeah.
Bless. I don't. I just have that one. And one on a t-shirt.
See, I did go through a dragon stage at one point. Like, I mean, it was one of those things like for birthdays and Christmases, that's what my kids would get me is like a little model dragon or something. So, yeah, I mean, I've got, they're all piled away in with my stuff from when I lived in the cottage. But yeah, I will when I get a new place at some point, if I ever do it this rate.
I don't think you will.
Yeah.
I think you'll just be there. Maybe move into a bigger bedroom.
Yeah.
Bigger bed. But
I don't
honestly,
need a bigger bedroom.
You need a bigger bed. Like, how can you sleep in a single bed?
I know, I do need a bigger bed. Yeah.
I can't comprehend that.
Especially when Tiff's over, both of us crammed into a single bed.
Of you are there,
yeah.
What are you doing?
We're lucky we're both skinny as fuck, put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I would like fall out of no space for me in a single bed at all.
Hey, you might be able to fit a boob on one half of it.
That's about it.
Jed just said, you can babysit VB for me again. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah,
I did like.
There we go. Right.
Oh.
Yeah, we lost Kate there.
She pressed the wrong button.
No, my works group chat started phoning me. Not answering that. I have time for that. I know what it is. It's they're at a drag show at the moment. A few of them are at a drag show at the moment, so they'd be phoning so that everybody could watch. But I don't have any interest in seeing drag shows, to be honest. But yeah, no, I enjoyed VB constantly. Well, I say constantly asking loads of cultural questions of how we feel about our state. That has been nice.
Well, yeah, the royal family and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I said, it was just an all-round awesome convo going on last night. And like I said, I'm kind of glad in a way that Jed wasn't about to ruin it when Martin came on, because Jed, I know what Jed would have been like. Jed would have just laid into Martin, especially after he'd had a few more to drink, right? And yeah, we wouldn't have got that awesome convo we had from Martin. So yeah.
Well, there you go, Jed. We'll kick you off your stream every week and just do me and D every other Saturday on the grey area.
No, like I said, that was more tongue in cheek than anything. But yeah,
No, I know.
We all know what Jed can be like.
He's a delight. What are you on about?
Oh yeah, he's
never picks up any arguments. Yeah, no, never.
Ask Dally and Rory McFizz what a delight he is.
Don't know who Rory McFizz is. Stop dropping names that I don't know, D. Not from that world. I think the Earth is a circle.
Oh,
globe.
So do most flat earthers. They think it's a circle too.
Well, most of them do, don't they? Think it's fully flat.
Yeah, I quite liked talking to Martin about his spiritual beliefs. And how he
always been civil with. Oh yeah, does it? I see. I didn't know that, Jed. No, mate. And like I say, that was tongue in cheek. Yeah, no. I mean, again, yeah, no. I don't think you'd really just lay into him. But yeah, again, you two are proper old schoolers. Like, I mean, yeah, Jed and Martin, they've been there from the start. Like,
so Jed used to be flat Earth because he's not now, is he?
No. Jed's just been around the flat Earth pretty much since it started. I mean, he's the original flat Earth troll. Like, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, very few people you can mention in the same breath as Jed, like who stood against flat Earth at the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah, Jed. Yeah.
I do troll him slightly, but not as much recently. Fair enough. And
to be fair, no, like I say, last night, if you go back and actually look at the conversation as well, Jed, it wasn't like in the past when I've seen him on Hangouts and been on Hangouts with him and stuff. He's been more talking at you. If you get me, like he's a bit. Well, in kind of in a way, like Dally talks at you. But last night it wasn't like the first kind of proper conversation I'd really had with him that hasn't been in person, because obviously I've met him in person a couple of times. But
yeah, I mean, like I said to him, I'm 95% globe, and I'm very much I have to see things to believe them, and he was like he's the same, and that. I asked him a couple of questions and he didn't give me a condescending answer. He gave me a very straightforward, this is what I believe. You don't have to believe that. And I like that. I hate those, my opinion is the only opinion and you have to listen to my opinion because it's correct voices. They're just narcissistic drones. And that's what leads you onto the cult mind of flat Earth and the cult mind of other things that I've got interests in. You always find that is that this is the only correct answer. You're wrong. And it's like you're not going to learn from that perspective. You're not going to input and you're not going to intake any information by thinking that way. So not all about that. And he wasn't like that. He was very sweet. You know,
you saw the best side of him you possibly could have seen, I think, last night. Like I say, that really was like the best hangout I've ever seen him on was the grey area last night. It really was.
I bring the best out in people.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, in person he's awesome. You can have a proper conversation with him in person stuff. I'm just saying, in other hangouts and stuff I've seen him on in the past. I've not seen every hangout he's been on. Like I say, he's been more talk at people rather than with people, and I felt last night he was talking with us. So yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, he was. He was great stuff. He was very nice.
And again, no insults. I've always liked Martin, like even.
And he wasn't like Dally, you know, where.
Sorry.
Where Dally will just keep talking, and Dally won't let you in. Whereas at least Martin was like coming up for breath and wanted to hear what other people had to say, even though we didn't necessarily. Oh well. You got
to have a bit of a question and answer session with him, didn't you?
Like have a little like why can't I see China? I'm waiting for troll versus troll video of I'm scared. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Sorry, I can't get comfortable, but my chest's hurting and I'm wiggling.
Yeah,
'cause
well, I
it's
mean,
hurting.
to be fair, we've
But
been
we're all
going
good.
an hour and a half. If you do want to call it quits
No,
tonight
I'm
early,
good.
I
I'm
don't
good.
mind at all. Because, like I say, because Martin is going live in like 10 minutes, so I'm sure people are going to maybe be nipping over there to see what
As
he's
long
got
as
to say.
people can deal with me constantly fidgeting, that's okay.
Yeah.
What's going on in the background here, Stephen? Why can't we? You're just a silhouette right now, like waiting to unlock player.
Because I've got the TV on. I mean, I'm just about to go to sleep and that because I've got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'd already have been asleep at like 6 o'clock. If I had to be awake.
And then I've got to be up at 5 in the morning. Got a bit of work.
Oh god, no. I'm glad. I am glad I got medically retired. Like I say, I mean, getting up ridiculous hours and stuff for work and that's something I don't miss. I miss the actual work, believe it or not. I do. I actually miss going to work. I miss the interactions I had with people at work, even if I was like the dick at work. Like, I mean, I still had a couple of mates there and stuff, and yeah, no, it was. And I enjoyed the monotonous job as well, to be fair. So yeah, no, but at the same time, yeah, definitely don't miss that.
Like I mean, I'm in building trade, like so.
Okay. Bye, Stephen.
We lost.
I miss work at the moment. As I mentioned last night, I've been signed off. And I don't know if I miss it. I miss everyone there. I'd have this week booked off work anyway as holiday, but yeah, I don't know if I miss everyone and miss my job at the moment. I'm quite bored. Have nothing to do.
Yeah, and like I said, so in a way, like I said, at the moment, I keep saying I'm going to go out and get creative and all this kind of stuff, but again, oh, he's back again.
You've got your welder. Like, why aren't you welding things, D? You said last week, "Oh, I'm going to weld."
Yeah, at the moment, the reason is crap weather, not enough indoor space to do stuff. All I've got is literally a 6x4 shed. I mean, it's tiny. It's enough. It's like a storage shed. It's not really a do work in it shed. And yeah, so I've got a bigger shed up in the garden that we got from the next door neighbour, but obviously I can't put it together. I can't go lifting big sides of shed down with my back. So I'm waiting on the reliability of my two brothers to come and help, and they're busy working themselves. So trying to get them two coordinated and down and building sheds and stuff for me is a nightmare. But once that's done, I will. And again, to be fair, I've got some resin and stuff that I want to start playing with as well. So I want to start doing stuff with wood and resin, and that I could technically do in the kitchen because I just have to keep the cats away, basically, because my mum's got 4 cats, and obviously cat hair and resin, I imagine, wouldn't go too well together. But
I remember last year when you said that you were getting your resin stuff and you were going to do that. I was like, oh my God, I love resin. And you was like, for your next birthday, I'll make you something out of resin and I'll post it you. It's my birthday in 2 weeks, D.
I'm terrible, honestly. I have so many pipe dreams that don't come to fruition.
You've upset me.
So much money on layout on stuff. I've not used any of it yet. It's crazy.
Where's my present, D?
Right, well that's what I'm going to have to do then, isn't it? I am going to have to sort something out over the next few weeks, and I fucking hell.
Well, my birthday is in 13 days, so, and you've got to take into account the post as well. So you've got a week to make, post, and package me a present.
Right.
Don't have a PO box though for all the fans. Don't worry, we haven't got a PO box. You don't have to send me anything, folks watching.
Well, maybe that should be something we could sort out for 1v1, if you know what I mean. Like a 1v1 like address box to send stuff to, because people do like to send stuff in. Like, maybe we could get like a sticker board up. I don't know. This is what I see because when I'm watching like the people who do the creative stuff. They have like boards and stuff behind them when they're doing talks. Other like makers can send in their stickers and their stuff to stick on the wall behind them. I mean, it's going to have to be better than looking at my bloody headboard.
Your missus has just messaged me. Has she messaged you?
No.
She's just messaged me this.
Oh, sorry.
She's good. She has a mold. She wants to
Oh
try
shit!
out.
Yeah, I got that message earlier. Yeah, I haven't actually
Oh.
responded to it yet. I'm terrible at messaging even my own girlfriend back.
Terrible, disgraceful behaviour. Sorry, Stephen. What were you going to say?
Yeah, go on.
Excellent. Good chat. Oh, he's
Oh,
gone.
no, he's probably gone to unmute his mic and he's dropped out again. Or maybe he was trying to say he's got to go. I don't know, but yeah. Sorry, Steve. Yeah, unless you speak quite loud, I do tend to
Ignore your opinion because
well, not
he is
ignore.
the
I tend
loudest
to
voice.
overtalk people a bit. It's I'm terrible. I don't mean to.
No, you just hear the loudest voice. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's why me and you are friends.
But no, he's not coming back, so I assume he was probably saying goodbye. But anyway, Stephen, thanks ever so much for your contributions tonight, especially clearing up a few of the trucker bits. Like, I mean,
that was helpful. That was helpful because D was useless. Useless.
That's what you get for throwing subjects at me that I have no clue.
Well, you've thrown nothing at me. You've thrown nothing at me.
I didn't have anything. Honestly, like I say,
well,
I mean,
whose fault
to be
is
fair,
that? You know what day we stream.
Yeah, well, I had a little maybe a little spiel about the Satanism if we were going to get into that.
Go on then.
But
Come on then.
We haven't really got time now. It was just it was more of a mini rant, like whether you believe it or not. It does appear that all the evidence seems to point to these little satanic groups or groups that are connected to the satanic cults and all this kind of stuff. And again, it doesn't come down to what you believe. It comes down to what they believe or they want everyone else to believe they believe. So,
good night, Stephen.
So I'll just put that up on the screen. Yeah. Thanks ever so much, Stephen.
Did you know that Lilith, who's supposed to be like a devil, she was made from the same soil as Adam, but the same ground as Adam, but wouldn't lay under Adam. She would only lay on top of or next to Adam. And she was
an equal, she didn't see why, she should be seen as less than, So,
and that's when she was cast aside, and then Eve was made from the rib of Adam, to be subservient and subdued. And should Adam's forcefulness not be the first sin, not Eve eating an apple or eating the fruit, does that not say something about modern day religion? If Lilith was cast aside for saying no,
Again, whether it says anything particular about today's religion, I don't know, because again, this is old school religion. But I imagine some sort of symbolism in it somewhere, and again, it's not something I'm really up on. I mean, again, I've heard of her. I know she was like there before Eve and stuff. But again, it doesn't come into my little spiel.
Sorry, G. With the position of your head, you look like you've got big earrings. With the position.
Oh my God!
Of your
Yes,
head,
look at her.
you've got earrings. Because Jed had just put your bed is satanic because it's got the swirlies that look like the sixes.
Oh my God! Yes, 6. If I move my head over one of those, I've got 6.
Yeah.
6. Fucking stupid camera, confusing my brain.
So,
and I suppose
for those of you who don't know,
I suppose you've got a pine cone here, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's your pineal gland. But yeah.
For those of you who don't know, StreamYard flips it. So this is my right hand and this is my left hand. But StreamYard flips it. So when I'm trying to point to things, like I'm pointing to my left, but it looks like I'm pointing to my right. So when I'm trying to point to things...
I have to point towards the wall, which is away from you, to point at you. Yeah. Whereas I should just have to go like that, but yeah.
Yeah, if I point that way to be pointing at you, I'm not. I have to point. Yeah, that's D.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I am a
You're exposed. I
satanic
can't stop looking at your earrings, D. I can't stop looking at your earrings. You're just going back into the exact position. Oh my God.
Got started, look. Right.
No.
Well, for anyone that's interested, yeah, Martin is going live in about 1 minute. Flat Earth British. I believe he's talking mud floods and Tartaria. So if you're interested in that stuff, you might want to jump over there.
I have no idea what
If
that
not,
means.
you can hang around for us for another 15 minutes. Actually, I'll stick the link back in just in case anyone wants to come in and have a quick 15-minute bit of banter. Banter, mate. Banter.
What do you mean? What? It's about muddy tarts.
In
Amazing,
old school
Chris.
talk,
It's exactly what I want to
is
see.
just taking the piss. Oh.
I'd thoroughly enjoy seeing muddy tarts.
Sorry, I'm lost. Muddy tarts. I'm lost.
Chris, but it's about muddy tarts. You were
What
on
is?
about Martin's stream.
Oh, right. Yes.
I apologise.
Why am I so slow? God's sake.
I'd apologise, Chris, but as you can see, Dee's currently got earrings in his ears. So, what does he know?
No, that's cool, Jed,
Jed said
mate.
he'd join, but he's sitting with the missus. Don't
It's
worry.
right. To be fair, if Jed joins, we're both leaving and he can fucking carry our hangout.
Yeah. Just put him on the big screen. We're on the big screen. Oh, I feel very special. Hello, Jed's missus. How are you today? How was work? Don't know if you've been to work today. But I know you have a job, so it's the nice thing to ask, isn't it? You know? You're not going to ask D that because he's a lazy bum with a fake back issue.
Tut.
Tut. Obviously he's not. Obviously he's a cripple.
So I'm not a critic, so I hate it. I know I am, but I fucking hate that term. Like I say, it winds me up. When people like see me like struggling and they treat me like an old fucking geezer, and I'm like, fuck off.
I know, yeah.
Fuck
I know.
off.
You want to be so independent, but you can't because you're a cripple.
I know.
But
like I
she
say,
was making bacon rolls
I'm limbering
for the
up at
junior
least
rugby
again
team
now
today.
with the workouts. So, sorry, it's.
She was making bacon rolls for the junior rugby team today. That's nice. Keep them fed.
Awesome.
Get them ready for rugby. I assume this would it be pre-rugby or post-rugby that you feed them? Then I want to be fed all the time. Can you tell?
Well, I thought don't you get cramp if you eat before you exercise? Like, and that one of the things that can give you cramp or stitch or whatever and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't exercise. Don't sully my ears with that term. I need to. But at the moment, I physically can't. Like, I walk up the stairs and my chest, my rib cage just hurts. So, maybe I could do yoga. That's considered exercise, right?
Yeah. What would that be? That would be.
Oh.
I suppose that'd just be like stretch exercises, wouldn't it? There's just not really no resistance there or anything. So, or what is it? What's when you use your own body weight? Kelto? You know, what?
Where's Chris when you need him?
Yeah, come on, Chris.
My wee man had his first game. Oh, nice.
Awesome, man.
Hope it went well
enjoyed
for him. Yeah.
And I hope they actually keep points, and I hope he kicks some ass.
Yeah. Old enough to play rugby, Chris. God.
Is that the son you see in a couple of your videos there, Jed? Again, I don't know name. Don't expect you to go giving out names or anything like that. And
oh, I'm glad he had a good time, dude. I'm glad he had a good time.
Yes, calisthenics. Thank you. Is it calisthenic? Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know if that's a correct
exercise.
Yeah.
We've established this. Yeah, my son wants to do some dancing.
What kind of
So
dancing? Ballroom dancing?
I
Hip
didn't
hop
really
dancing?
specify. He's very like jolty, like he's very like he could do. That's nothing. That's mom dancing, isn't it?
Oh my god, he's going to
Um,
be a performing fucking artist, isn't he?
are you not a performing artist right now? Is that not what you're doing right now?
No, I don't consider I'm
Reflection
putting on
time
a
with D.
performance of any sort. No, no.
No, but you're performing an art. Like you're still
Yeah, I'm a
showcasing.
bullshit artist, I suppose, aren't I?
You're still on the them internets performing something, whether it's your true voice or whether you're putting on something else, you're still performing something.
Yeah.
If you're dancing, you're not putting anything on, you're just showcasing your abilities. So by you being on them internets talking about your thoughts, is that not showcasing your abilities?
Yeah, I'm a thought artist. There you go. Yeah.
My tablet just crashed or did something, or I don't know what just happened, but I've just lost the chat. So bear with me while I put it back up.
I concur, Chris. I concur. As a gamer
Good, he's out
myself,
doing
I would
sports rather than
advise
Xbox
any
all day.
child to get out and get as
That's
much
same.
playing or sporting as possible. Yeah.
No, I agree.
And don't get me wrong. Yeah. As a child, I was as keen on a good old game of football and shit myself, and we had like army gangs, and we were always out making bases and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, and it was. So I'd definitely get them out there on PlayStation.
I don't know what dance he wants to do. My tablet's just.
We'll have to maybe find out and do some dancing.
I think he kind of just wants to do any dance that's available. I mean, he likes to move to music, which most kids do. They like that whole.
Oh, get him doing the time warp. Please film him doing the time warp.
Let's do I don't know the time warp. The time warp. But
put your hands on your hips. And you bring your knees in time. Yeah. So you do know it.
I know the words. But I can't remember where I put my hands. Yeah, I'd need to sing it to be able to. I'm doing the Macarena right now. But yeah, it's very much in our nature to hear music and want to move, even if it's just moving your foot. You want to. You just naturally want to move to the music.
Down dancer ever.
No, me too. I'm not very. I can't dance.
Well, to be fair, New Year's Eve is about the only time you get me up on the dance floor, because I've usually got a few like ecstasy tablets down my neck, and it all comes flooding back. Oh, I know. What am I doing that for at my age? God's sake.
Terrible. How could you? Saying that though, Mary sent me a video of her at a rave last night, and I was like, "Ah, yes, Mary." And Mary's like 30 something, 37. I just added years onto her. I'm not sure. I could have taken years away from her. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, she was saying that she was at a rave. So that's cool. I've never been to a rave.
Oh, you definitely missed out.
I've been to like rock raves.
No, not the same. Not the same. Yeah, rave.
Still
like I say, you need to go to
music.
a rave on ecstasy. If you're not on ecstasy when you go to a rave, don't bother. You're not going for a rave if you're not on ecstasy. I don't care what you say. Call me what you like. Don't give a shit.
So I'm catching up with the chat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know what dancing he wants to do. I imagine he'll just try different dances and then see which one he wants to do, to be fair. D, are you big box, little box type of dancer?
No, not so much. I find it hard to do the old
I'm reading comments. It wasn't me. I know
the hand stuff. Like in precision, I'm more of a ravey kind of keep your hands going, like moving it around and Like, yeah, proper getting on that. Obviously, with a beat behind me, that would have come across a lot better. But yeah.
Does EDM count as a rave?
I suppose more of a chilly kind of stuff, that, isn't it? If I'm thinking of the right people.
What? No, EDM, electronic dance music.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. There was an actual.
Because there's a goth version of that, and in the club that I used to go to, that they used to play Prodigy. What Jed's just said, like
I'm thinking Electric Lights Orchestra. I do apologise. It's all right.
That's ELO, yeah. They came from Birmingham. Fun fact. But there's a club that I used to go to, and it'd have like 4 different rooms, and you'd have 4 different styles in each different room, and one of them was EDM, and it was very smoke machiney, very, yeah, it was industrial music. Madame just but Cakes would be an industrial dancer. It was industrial music, so you kind of go like, "Hi, Mom."
Hi, Cakes.
How are you?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. You look
Jolly good.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Love your hair.
So do I.
Yeah. Look.
Believe it or not.
Mine's.
Yeah, you careful you ain't good showing down your top, look.
Mine's quite long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought that was a scarf. I was like, how cold is it down there?
Oh, right, I'm going to listen to your podcast tomorrow, but I hope there isn't anything about milk on it.
Milk or
milk?
MILFs?
I'll put her off milk.
I have not been able to use milk since last Monday when I heard your vegan podcast. You two, him especially,
with the pus and the blood and the mastitis.
Oh,
yeah, it's great,
okay.
isn't it?
I didn't need to hear that again, Kate.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Night night.
Good night.
Oh, hello everybody. Hi. I'm
Hello,
gonna make future Oh, I've got dementia, I think. I can't think of me words.
She's off her head on meds, is what she fucking is.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say, I'm going to make my own milk or I'm going to make my own new babies.
Definitely no new babies.
No. Like, I have done my bit for this planet. Thank you. I have produced 3 wonderful sons.
Wow.
So I've done me bit.
1 and 2 extras.
No, 3 wonderful sons. They're all the same. They're all wonderful. Yeah. So.
Amazing. Well, you'll see yourself tomorrow. You'll see yourself tomorrow when you watch the stream, won't you? You'll be
She'd be
so
like, why
happy.
the fuck did I do all that Valium and go on fucking YouTube?
I'm definitely going. Night night, everybody.
Night
night.
Yeah, look, Chris has done. Yeah, you done enough, lol.
Bye all.
Right, see you later, you. Wow, that was an impromptu visit from me mummy.
Your mum looks younger than you.
Don't. I know. 22 years older than me, look.
She doesn't look it. She looks so much younger than you.
No,
Dee's
not
mum
being
just
funny.
came on the chat.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I've had the curse my whole life of all my male friends wanting to shag me mum. It's been ridiculous.
Well, Dan's just said, is she a MILF? And I was like, well, yeah, she's got grey hair, but yeah. And then Dan was like, well, then it's a GILF, isn't she? Because she's got grandkids. Fucking hell. How did she make you?
Like I say, one day I will shave all this off, and it does take years off me. Honestly, this takes 10 years off me. Once I
don't believe you.
So, yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. Cheers, P-Mars.
That was nice. Second time I've met your mama now.
Yeah.
happy cakes. What are we like? Jed agrees with me. You look older than your mum, D. D, totally different accent from your mum. Well, his mum's from Liverpool.
Yeah, she's
Sorry.
yeah. So that was her phone voice. She's an old woman, and she thinks that when you talk to people online, it's the same as when you're on a telephone. So she puts on a posh voice. That was my mum's like fucking telephone voice, as I call it. Yeah.
I can't do my posh voice without a phone to my ear.
But yeah. You should hear her, like I say, for like a week or two when she's been up to visit the family in Liverpool. If she comes back, like she's proper scouts like, for like a week or two. But yeah.
My phone voice is the same as my work voice, and it's just to make people buy more things. Pretend I'm cute. Mum's telephone voice, brilliant.
Yeah.
She's nice. She's very nice.
No, she is. She's a cool mum. She can't say it's the best mum, if you know what I mean, but yeah, she's definitely one of the coolest mums. Like, yeah.
What are you doing? What's going on here? What's this all about?
Well, I've got a little ball of back in my hand, so I couldn't scratch the inside of my elbow, so I had to use my arm to scratch the inside of my elbow. Sorry.
I was like, are you playing a violin? What's going on here?
I don't know. We'll probably find out that's some kind of Masonic signal, and I've just got myself in big trouble. Like.
Terrible. Did I tell you that at work we can't do? Because so we have to approach every customer and make sure everybody's okay. So you go to a supervisor or a free member of staff that you do that to them to see if everybody's okay. And now obviously I don't quite know what that means, but it's not very good in Italy. Like it's like a curse or something. I'm not too sure. He was trying to start a fire by rubbing his arms together to light all up because he's made of flint. But yeah, so we can't do that anymore. So we just have to thumbs up everywhere. But that's kind of awkward. Whereas that's more like you can do that quite subtly, like wherever you are. But thumbs up, like I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Political correctness.
No, it's ridiculous. But no, I mean, hand signs, they mean different things all over the place and stuff. But yeah, you will get yourself in trouble on here, like on YouTube a lot on the conspiracy rounds if you don't go doing the wrong ones. Like it's as simple as that. I've seen it. I've seen many people trying to debunk people just because they've used one hand sign or two.
Yeah, like P Mars with the halo as well, like trying to be all like subliminal messages. Like if I had my curtain open, he'd accuse me of that as well with my light bulb reflection.
Idea.
Hang on, it doesn't work as well. The idea, there we go. The idea works better when I have an idea. No, there's no food here, cat.
But no, like I say, it's
come here then.
Yeah, it's all very subjective, I think, unless you're in like with the group and you do know the hand signals and stuff. It really
I
is what
do
it is.
things by accident and not what mean to. It's that whole offense is taken. It's never given. I can't give you offense. I'm just some random woman on the internet saying random words that seem to make sense in my head. Whether they make sense to you guys, that's up to you, but it's all subjective. Whether you decide how you take what I say. That is not food. Stop it. It's up to you guys how you take what I say, and I can't give you offense. Like if for example, if you didn't like what I was saying about homelessness earlier, that's your choice. You're completely entitled to your opinion. And honestly, if you didn't like what I said, then you could have took it upon yourself to come on and tell me that I'm wrong, or that you don't agree with my opinion. So if anybody ever comments, oh, I don't agree with you, or like after the fact, like, oh, I hated this, that's your fault. Like you could have come on. Oh, nice. You could have come on and told me.
Yeah, constructive criticism is always welcome. Yeah. It really is. Like, yeah. But if you're just going to say, "Oh, I hate this," well, fuck off. Like, I mean, at least tell us fucking why. Like, but although, again, I can't see myself changing for anyone. So yeah, you're pretty much stuck with what you got. Yeah. But so, I mean, should we wrap this up? It's
changing his opinion on climate change.
No, see, again, I haven't
Sorry,
really
what?
changed my opinion on it. It's more now. I don't feel I have the proof to back up anything I say anymore about it. I still feel like humans aren't really causing any kind of climate change. Right? That's my feeling on it, and it's just I thought I had more evidence to back this up on. Whereas all I've really got is evidence that the scientists that are showing us is bogus evidence a lot of the time, or cherry-picked evidence, wrong. Yeah. So I haven't really got proof I need. I've just got proof or evidence that they're lying. So
you have got proof that you need, but you don't have proof that you can show other people for them to believe.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what you mean. Been a good one, D and cakes. Thanks, Jed.
Oh, cheers, Jed, man. Yeah, no, but yeah.
And yes, we can. Yes.
Do you have a last minute thought or anything? A final thought?
No, other than the usual, like, thanks guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks for Jed and VB letting us on last night and having a good old chat. It's a shame you had to dip, Jed, because we'd have had a great laugh, would have had a great time. Hopefully catch you in 2 weeks when Grey Area is on again. We'll be here next week. Probably be doing the same free flow thing. So if anybody wants to pop on, ever feel free to. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, more than welcome. Like I say, the more the merrier. We can have up to 6 people on here. So I mean, we really can have a decent convo going if people want to take advantage of our platform.
Yeah. If you, even if you want to talk about something that we're not talking about, I'm more than happy for you to pop on and be like, "Did you hear this today?"
And P Mars, I would love to see you on here one day because I know you've got a lot of valid ideas that I think people should hear. To be fair, as long as obviously you keep it on the level, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, and yeah, Jed, your next stream will be my birthday, so I might pop on. I might be rather drunk. Yeah, I knew what you mean. I knew what you meant. We all know that your grey area is fortnightly. So, well, I assume people know that it's fortnightly. But yeah, I will. If I do come on, I will be probably drunk. We'll see. Yeah, cool. Anything else you want to add?
Cool. Sorry, Paul. I just want to ask Pole of Inaccessibility. D. What is that? A documentary or something I need to catch or? So if we could just leave it for a second just to let Madam answer.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's all right. But yeah, I'm quite excited for my birthday. I have nothing planned, which usually every birthday I have something planned, and I'm usually going to do something. Like last year we were at the pub and Dan was still in Ireland, so he came over to England for my birthday. So we were at the pub, then we were at a hotel, and it was great. This year, obviously he's here, so don't really know what we'll do. He might plan something, don't know. No,
so you're living together now. That's it. You're done. Honeymoon period over. Yeah.
I mean, we were, at least we went to a hotel on our anniversary. You know, at least we went out on our anniversary and did stuff. Many things.
We're listening.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you what we did. But yeah, we had a good anniversary, to be fair, didn't we? Yeah.
You sound like you're trying to convince yourself there, Cakes. Yeah.
No, I was asking him, and he said, yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Typical Dana. I'm surprised you got that.
I know.
Surprised just didn't get that.
I know. Yesterday I was on the headset. I was on Xbox with Trig, and I said to Dan, I was like, right, so I'm going to cook Sunday lunch, and I'll try and have it ready for when you come home. And he was like, oh, you're too good, Tim. You need to stop. And I was like, yeah, I know. Don't think you realise it.
Well, when was the last time you came home to a nice cooked meal, eh? All the housework done.
Nope. Nil a bois.
Typical man. Typical
No.
man.
I know. VB would be proud.
No, VB wouldn't. See, this is the thing with the MGTOW. It's about it being an empowered man and being able to do all that shit yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't
true.
have to rely on a bloody petty little woman. That's MGTOW. That's MGTOW talking, not me. I'm hiding behind MGTOW at the moment.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Madame's replying.
So we'll let these poor people go and stop making them hang around and watch us now. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers, folks.
Thanks. We'll see you next week. Have fun.
Yes.
Bye.
See you in a week. Bye.